Hey Omar, thanks for having this conversation with me today. I'm going to be telling you about the insights I found about myself as a leader through a lot of self-reflection and a self-assessment test called the Saboteur test, and the type of leader I am, what I can do to improve, and what I want out of these improvements, the outcome. So what I found out is that the biggest thing is I naturally like to take charge in many situations. I like to make decisions for the team and I strive for perfection. This is actually the result I gained from my Saboteur test, is that I am a very high achiever, meaning that when I do things, I like to do them to the best level possible or not at all. There's no scenario where I like to, excuse my language, half-ass things or do them to a medium kind of standard. I've also found that I'm very in touch with my emotions. I can recognize negative emotions early on and I'm able to act upon them and make sure they don't impact me when I'm trying to reach my perfection outcomes, okay? I see this as a very powerful leadership trait because it allows me to focus solely on the task that needs doing, and it means I can perform whether I feel uncomfortable, stressed, tired, you name it. I kind of just suck it up and go on to the work. So I'm going to use the MILO framework to assess what I want to be done. And that stands for maintain, improve, let go, and outcome. So going in order, I'm going to tell you what I want to maintain, what I want to keep the same. I've gained a very high sense of discipline from my fast-paced activities, such as working out, my combat sports, and also my experience in the military. I've gained them from these, but I feel that they bleed into all the other aspects of my life, and they definitely help me in my work, my university, when assisting family, and when helping out my father at his office. I usually volunteer for the bigger or more difficult parts of a task in a team. So for example, in my university, when I'm assigned a project, I normally look through the tasks first, and whatever I think people may struggle with, I'm normally the one to take that task upon myself. And the reason I do this, first of all, is to gain the respect of my team. I want them to know that I'm very hands-on and I'm willing to take the brunt force of the task at hand. I want to show them that I'm competent, that I'm ready to work hard, and more so, when they look at me or when I have something to say, I want them to trust me and know that I'm reliable, and basically have my word count for something in the team. Moving on to what I'd improve, and this is a section where I feel I have the most work to do. The hyperachiever trait that I learned in the Saboteur test is good, and I've gained resilience in some of the tougher parts of my life, such as the army. However, I feel that I carry the same expectations onto other people, my teammates. So we know, of course, not everybody is the same. We all have different personality types. And it's not fair for me to place the same pressure on my teammates that if they're not feeling well or they're feeling tired and stressed, I cannot expect them to just ignore these feelings and move on. I've noticed in the real world, teammates in university have come to me before, or haven't even come to me, have mentioned that they're feeling stressed or overworked. And my approach has either been to quickly have a conversation, get it over with, or to just, in a way, kind of tell them, yeah, it's fine, just let's focus on the work right now. Being able to recognize emotions in other people would help me connect with them and also have them feel like they're heard, like they're not being brushed aside by me or ignored. And this will increase morale in the team as a whole, because when people feel that their contributions actually matter, they have a greater personal investment in the project. Now, moving on to the let go section, these are the things that I'd want to eliminate from the way I work as a leader right now. One important part is how I mentioned, I think it's just quicker for me to take on the difficult parts of a task myself. And also, if I see my teammates struggling with something, I tend to just do the task myself because it's quicker and easier than trying to sort out a solution within the team. Now, this may be good for the work itself, but when it comes to actually building an effective team, it is not good. The reason for this is, as a leader, aside from making sure that the work is done properly, I also need to take into account the fact that I am building a team of people. I need to bring them up with me, and the quality of work reflects in the team as a whole and their ability to get their tasks done, not just the work that comes out of the team. So the outcome from letting that part go is I want to build a capable team where we know each other's strengths and weaknesses. As I said, we can divide work accordingly, make sure that everyone's value is being put to use, there's no one left out in the team, and more importantly, every team member feels good and is not being discriminated against or ignored in any way. That is number one, because team well-being comes first. And I've seen in the course that emotional intelligence, being able to deal with others' emotions as well as myself, is a key part of being a successful leader. So now I'm going to tell you about the specific changes that I'm going to make to bring this to life. The first is going to be how I use my time. One of the biggest wastes of time I've noticed is dealing with unnecessary things repeatedly throughout the day. Having multiple conversations of the same type, interrupting workflow. So like instead of having the same conversation with different employees throughout the day, I will have a selected time, ideally in the beginning of the day, where everyone has a chance to speak up and raise any concerns or thoughts that they have, any suggestions to the work. So then when we begin the work day, everyone is caught up, is clear on any updates, and there's no need to recall everyone for a meeting, or there's no confusion throughout the day. That's number one. And number two, I'd like to combine small tasks into one so I don't lose time throughout the day doing them. For example, I would set a specific time to check my emails, times to have meetings, coach others, and oversee the different departments and the work that they do. Now, this course is about being a lean leader, and what the lean part means is maximizing customer value while reducing as much waste as possible. In my opinion, the biggest waste comes in the form of time, so by me making these changes, I can save as much time as possible, and every second of time saved is an extra second I can use to maximize customer value. Another change I would make is with the delegation. So although I would like to, I can't be involved in every single decision-making process in a team. I need to be able to trust my team with the more minute tasks and assign myself the bigger, more crucial decisions to make. So for this reason, I need to build a lot of trust in my team. And this wouldn't only give me more time to increase productivity, but would also give each team member a sense of purpose and a chance to prove their worth within the team. This would increase motivation, sense of belonging, and drive, which contributes to overall morale, which would only make the team more effective. This would also reduce the effects of negative emotions they have. So aside from making my change when it comes to emotional maturity, there would be less of them to deal with. The whole team would be healthier mentally, and this would only give them a clearer head to produce the best work possible. This would work well with me as a leader because, as I said, I'm a perfectionist. So this is the outcome I would want by taking a different approach.
Okay, so thank you for sharing. You seem to have a very thorough understanding of what your strengths are as a leader and what qualities you might need to improve on. You are very aware that being a leader does not solely consist of your efforts, but a big trust in the people that are a part of your team. I do believe that there are certain things you could touch upon. Although you have made comments of the alters you would make, you could touch a bit more on what you would do in a time of crisis within your team, or how you would manage certain disagreements between team members that may have different views on certain topics. I would leave you with one question at the end of all this, and it would be, to ask you what your line of thought would be when addressing things such as efficiency within your team, workflow, and productivity.
Thank you.